Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, bringing you the next section of my Bulletstorm very hard difficulty video walkthrough. And this is Act 6, Chapter 3, Ponderin Them Bodies. Before I start talking about the game, I've got to say this because it's pissing me off. I'm about to shit on American Idol again. So if you don't like people banging on American Idol, I would advise you to switch off because I'm gonna defecate on it right now. I've got it on behind me and it's on all fucking day. I don't know why. It was on an hour ago, it's back on now somehow. I don't even understand this. I realise that the TV companies enjoy printing money, and I understand that they like making millions, because this show clearly does, because there's all the fucking mongoloid monkey-like retards that text in and spend all the money like, I really want that one to go through, and all that kind of douchebags that watch it. I take no pleasure in watching it, it's just in the background noise, because there's nothing better on a Sunday, so that's my defence, fuck you. But it's just done that whole advertisement at the start when it's just kind of like, we're gonna get to the top 24, who's gonna make it through, who's not gonna make it through, and will Jennifer be able to take the toll of having to fire people on national television for millions and millions of pounds? And it's like, what the fuck? Jennifer Lopez is finding it too hard to sit behind a fucking desk and tell a bunch of mongoloids that they can't sing. She's only getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for doing it. There's people that work like 70-hour shifts cleaning up shit. They live in fucking tiny closet-sized rooms and have to eat their own feces just to survive, and this bitch is sat behind a desk fully fucking manicured saying it's too hard. She should work on a dairy farm. See how good it is then, the silly bitch. It just, it makes me so mad when they sit there just like, you don't realise how hard it is to sit here and look beautiful because we've had 7 hours of makeup with all these lights on us on national television getting paid thousands. But anyway, fuck that. Fuck it in the ass. It should burn in eternal damnation. So right now, when you come into this area, as you can see, I'm getting dicked by burnouts. And what will happen is, they all jump down into the room, and there's a ton of rebar around, so if you run and you kick them onto the rebar, it'll clean them up pretty easily. It's just a case of, if they do swamp you, and there's a ton of them around you, you can't move, because they're big bastards, so just be careful of that. And then just kick them onto rebar. And as soon as you see them spawning from one area, as soon as you clean that area out, I would advise running to it, because it generally means they're going to flip the spawn and come from the other side. But this is dead simple, this, because as I've said, the burnouts are probably the most fun enemy to fight, because you know exactly what they're going to do, they make a lot of noise, and they do the same thing. But yeah, as you keep progressing through this area, you're going to see the rubble come down a lot. And there's probably going to be another timer where you have to run really quickly. So just pay attention. We get a nice checkpoint there, so it probably means we're going to be fighting some dudes soon. We will soon find out. But yeah, this whole American Idol thing, it's not just American Idol, it's the same in England. We have Pop Idol and fucking X Factor and all that kind of garbage. And I just think it's wrong. I think the ideals and the principles that it's preaching are morally aberrant. I really don't like them, because they just manufacture this plastic, this facade of falseness, and it's just wrong. But anyhow, if you at least start that, oh, I'm getting kicked in. Whoa, die, bitch! Das Boot! And there's going to be a couple more of them, so make sure you kill them quickly. There you go, das Boot, that douche, das Boot, das Boot, das Boot, wunderbar, schnell, schnell, das Boot. And there we go, good night. But once you come through here, you get another nice checkpoint, there's some more rebar, so that tells you straight away there's going to be enemies coming. And you can pull them into this rebar, which is cool. That'll clean them up pretty quickly, and as you approach this corner, I think another guy spawns. Yeah, a ton of them spawn, so you can either kick the explosive into them, or kick them into the environment. It's entirely up to you, it's not challenging. And then this next room is pretty much the same, it's just coming through this rubble, getting attacked by burnouts and using the environment as your bitch basically to own them. And obviously if you can get off a nice little x-ray shot like that, it's always fun. Coming to the end of Bulletstorm, and it is a pretty short game on your second playthrough, which is, I don't know, I think it's I think it's the right length, because if it was any longer, it would really isolate its downfalls as opposed to this linear sequence of really fun shootouts.
Now what?
But the next project I'm going to be doing, if anybody's wondering, is probably going to be Killzone 3, but that is dictated by when I get it, because unfortunately I'm not buying it for reasons I've mentioned in other videos, so check out my demo walkthrough if you want to know what I think about Killzone 3. But I am looking forward to playing the game, as hypocritical as that sounds. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to recording the guide because I think it's going to be challenging and I think it's going to be fun. And I'm hoping it gets a lot of views because the second Killzone was really hard at the end. The game was easy, but the end was really hard, and I'm hoping the third one doesn't have that because that put a lot of people off. But on the flip side, if it is really challenging, it'll get a ton of views because a lot of people will be looking for ways to do it. So the harder the game is, the more it benefits me, I suppose. But keep on cruising through this Ulysees, through the vents and shit. And just take note to all the electrical cables that are dropping from the roofs because they can be used to kill people just as easy as any other environmental hazard could be. Then just do your thing. I'm also thinking of doing something to celebrate 100 subscribers, and I know a lot of you might be thinking 100 subscribers is no, but it's a lot to me because I started this from scratch. I haven't gone on people's videos and posted, you know, sub for sub. I haven't gone around like dropping links saying check my videos out on YouTube. Sorry, I've done that on other websites, but I don't count that. I've not been that arsehole that goes on to, you know, the big YouTube commentators like your Wings of Redemption and your X-Cals and your C-Nanners and all those kind of people. I haven't done the I do commentaries too, check me out, all this kind of thing, box for box, none of that nonsense. It's all off my own back, and I've tried to do it with as much dignity as I possibly can. So 100 subscribers is a big thing, and I'm trying to think of doing something to celebrate it because I've already got the Legends list that's rewarding people. I'm going to do one of those on my next project in between Killzone 3 because I've got a ton of new subscribers that I need to thank for sticking with me. And I'm not too sure what I might do. I might actually put a poll up, like an open question to what walkthrough would you like to see? Any game, anything. And if enough people say one of the same games, I'll do a walkthrough to it. I might do something like that. Or a live commentary. I might do a gameplay with some live com or an open mic or something like that. It all depends on what people want to see and what will get the most views, because if somebody wants to see me do a guide to something really hard with a live commentary of me just getting totally frustrated with all the deaths left in, then I'll do that. But that will definitely be a side project because I want to do walkthroughs and I want to make walkthroughs as impressive and as high quality as I can. And keeping deaths in and loading screens and that kind of shit is definitely not that. But when you're in rooms like this, because the roof is so small, you can use your thumper because it's really low and kill a ton of dudes dead quickly. But if you're going to be brave like me and slightly crazy, then you can just kick them into the fans and just keep kicking them. And as you can see, this is not working as well as it did before because there's a lot more burnouts rushing you. But there's a lot of environmental hazards, so you shouldn't have too much trouble. And that fan on the floor, if you can leash them towards you, that fan will do all the work because it is deadly. But yeah, if anybody wants to send me a private message or drop a comment somewhere about what they would like to see, I'll definitely look into doing something a little different for that. Because I've already got a review in the work, which is kind of different. I'm going to be reviewing an obscure Japanese shooter. And I'm just thinking of different things to go hand in hand with the walkthroughs, because if I am going to get noticed by a sponsor, you know, by something like Machinima Respawn or something along that lines, I definitely have to have the best content possible and the most diverse content out there. So it's just all about keeping it varied, should I say. Now that is beautiful. When you line people up and everything works your way, this game can be so much fun. Just keep cleaning dudes up. And a little advice as well when it comes to having a secondary weapon that you rely on. I generally always have my secondary weapon set to charge, so that when I switch to it, I've got the room cleaner, as I like to call it. And that comes from playing a game called Turok Rage Wars. And if anybody knows, I'm a pretty big Turok fan. I've played them all, especially the old ones. The old ones on the N64 were some of the best games ever. They've probably not aged very well, but there was a shotgun on that, and it was an automatic shotgun, and it had a secondary fire mode called Street Sweeper. And it did exactly that. It pretty much fired every single shell in its clip in about 2 seconds. And it just wallpapered dudes. So I always had something like that on backup just in case the shit hit the fan. And that's what I treat the flail gun as my fuck you button when stuff gets really rough.
What was that code?
But we're still making our way through the Ulysees. Still trying to find the bomb to deactivate. And a little funny note about the bomb that we're about to come up on. It's got a nipple on the end of the bomb, which I thought was kind of funny because it makes it look a lot like a titty. And that made me chuckle. And even funnier is the password that you have to type in to deactivate the bomb. Because if you listen to what Serrano tells you to type in, it's both a plot point and a really funny joke. But to kill this dude you have to knock him towards the electricity, then you have to leash it so that it drops all the shit on him. And you should get an achievement for doing that, so I think it's something like 15G, always nice. And when you come through here, there's going to be a ton of burnouts that come towards you, so wait for them to come and then thump them into the roof. And if you do that correctly, you can probably get the achievement for getting 2,000 points on that section. And if you're having any trouble at getting it, I would advise using the screamer, waiting for them to come, fire the screamer into the roof, the secondary function, it'll set all of them on fire, and then when you bounce them into the roof, it'll get you extra points, and you will easily get 2,000 points on that bit. And if you look around here, this is the missile that I mentioned, this is the bomb, and there's its nipple. Little nipplet. And you basically have to come to this console and press X in a couple of quick time events. And the faster you do it, the more experience you'll get for doing it. And if you get 500 points, that means you did it perfectly. And I'm being fucking shined on by the sun, goddammit. This is England, we don't get sun. You are a dumb tit. That was the password. Oh, this game is funny when it wants to be. And there we go, it was all a trap.
Son of a bitch.
Unfortunately, we fell for it hook, line and sinker.
Waiting on board. Maybe I'll get a secretary to give me a mouth sucking.
Oh, some of the insults on this game are ridiculous. And I'm still being amused by that little metal nipple on that missile. But once it's come back to being away from Serrano, all you have to do is climb up into this vent once you leash the cover off. And it's a case of trying to get off the ship now with Ishi. And this bit, it seems like it's going to be kind of hectic and kind of desperate, but it really isn't. And if you've played it before, you shouldn't have any problems with it. Jesus Christ, this conservatory is going to get fucking warm if the sun keeps shining on it. And I'm not a big fan of heat. I'm not built for that shit. But once you're in this area, it does a bit of talking, and that vent I've just shot then, Ishi's going to open it up, and that's where we can progress through. So as soon as he opens it, you need to press X to jump down, because I try and slide down and it's not having any of it. And then you just have to keep progressing through the Ulysees. And there you go, you get to climb out. And unfortunately we're back where we started. But there's another plot point happening, and if you've not predicted this plot point, then you're probably not the sharpest of tools.
I would rather die at peace than frantically pushing against fate.
I caused all this. If I die without setting it right, there ain't no kind of peace awaiting me.
Nothing better than kicking your friend while you wait for him to shut up talking.
We've got company.
And here we go, the door opens, and lo and behold, it's Stygia! And she gets to save our ass. But I'll probably see you in the next act, which is Act 7. And just thanks for watching my videos, thanks for supporting me, thanks for sticking with it. I hope it helps. And you take care now.